All right, Tina, what season's coming up?
Fall. Well, yeah, we're in fall.
Oh, yeah, so we're in there. Too bad. Josh, what season's coming up? Do you know?
Well, the holidays are coming.
What season is it?
It's fucking season's coming.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, no is right. Already? Here we are already?
Already.
Wow, that went by fast.
It's October.
It's really snuck up on us.
Fourth quarter, people are going to start getting a case of the fuckets. And it's not good.
No, it's not good. What do you see in fucket season?
Well, I guess maybe everybody should even like to know what it is.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what is it?
Okay.
For those of us who have not experienced it, which I would be surprised once we give the definition if someone hasn't experienced this, but
they've seen it or experienced it, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
So this is the time of year which we are rapidly approaching. I like to think it's in full swing as soon as Halloween's over.
yeah.
And that's the point where we get to where we're thinking about change, but it's the time where it's like, screw it, fuck it. I'll just wait until January 1st to get started. And there's still 3 more months to go. And we're going to sacrifice those 2 to 3 months at the end of the year to wait for January to start. And we just let everything go. We don't care anymore. For 2 to 3 months, people stop caring.
Yeah. As soon as I see PSL, which I learned this year is pumpkin spice, or pumpkin spice latte is PSL, but pumpkin spice hits a menu,
Ooh,
I'm like,
smell it.
Yep, I just can go ahead and say that this is already the time where our minds are entering that space where we're like, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait. There's too many things coming up. I don't have the time right now. Too many events. We'll see what happens in the new year.
Oh, yeah. The excuses are out there. The reasons to be busy are out there.
Oh, yeah. All the things piled up in 3 months. And 3 months is 25% of the year, which is a whole lot of year to sacrifice just because we're busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's at least 12 weeks left this year. And 12 weeks is a long time to start a change and enjoy the holidays, period.
Yeah. And change doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe this year is just, I'm going to continue to do what I've done all year long so far for the next 12 weeks. I'm not even going to change anything. I'm just going to keep doing my thing. Mm-hmm. I'm just not going to do what I normally do and then stop caring at all.
Yeah. Give up, quit, whatever that screw it means to you. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about when we started, we've all seen it. We've all experienced it. I can tell you I experienced it for years before I realized that I didn't have to experience it anymore. But, it's a tough one to work through.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about today is how do we get through this season without feeling like we have to sacrifice everything. Like we don't have to avoid everything. And, there can be lots of ways that we look at it. To me, I encourage people, if this has always been kind of a tough time of year or where you find yourself putting on weight or stressed or whatever, it's like, let's just get through the season without maybe just not gain any weight.
Yeah.
For 12 weeks.
Yeah. Like just
that would be a huge win if we just didn't go the wrong direction.
Yeah. Right? Even stopping, like you just said, being aware and pausing for just a second and just realizing that we could just stay steady would be a huge win going into the new year, which is where we typically see people head at this point already in mid-October. Their sight is already set on that New Year's resolution.
Yep. So we want to hopefully set your sights on today and the next 12 weeks so that way you're in full steam come January when you are maybe more apt to turn it on or, attempt something new, add something new to your life, make some positive change to what you're currently doing. So let's start to discuss some of those strategies and, how we can help people.
Okay. So I actually did jot some things down. So I'll just start with this one and then we can do a little round table of what you guys think about what I'm saying. Again, this is not going to be anything that you haven't heard before, but the first one is don't wait to start. And when I say don't wait to start, I don't even mean like start any day, anytime. I was notorious for the first of the month, the Monday, after a holiday, like, okay, I'm going to start the Monday after the holiday or just any arbitrary time in the future. I would pick that time to start thinking that there was something magical going to happen that day. And guess what I found out? nothing magical ever happened on that day, except I found another reason to say, screw it.
Yeah. And again, you're not alone. Happens every day to a lot of people. Josh, what do you got?
Along that line there, Tina, I'm going to throw the toothbrush analysis analogy out if I can speak. So I'm going to ask you guys, have you ever come home one night, maybe you sit down on the couch, you fall asleep, or I'm going to lay my eyes down for just 1 second, and then we fall asleep and we end up waking up in the morning and we didn't brush our teeth? Has that ever happened?
That's happened to me. Happens all the time on the couch, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens to me. I mean, actually a lot. I mean, this is gross. I don't brush my teeth at night. Do you? Do you?
Well,
Every night before you go to bed, do you brush your... You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't.
So
sorry, Dr. Reinerman.
That's a perfect example, though. Do you say, fuck it? Do you wait till January to brush your teeth again?
No.
Or the next time you're in the bathroom, oh, there's my toothbrush. Yeah. I'm going to get out my toothpaste and toothbrush. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to get right back on the horse and keep doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I do it at 3:00 in the morning.
To your point.
When I wake up off the couch, then I go.
Gosh.
Well, no judgment zone here.
We'll talk to
brush your teeth.
All right, I'm going to have to talk this one through later. But anyway,
the fact
yes, I agree with you. You're 100% correct.
So we don't wait. We get right out there and do it.
Yeah, we just get right back on it very next day.
Yep.
Whenever your routine is, and get back at it.
Yeah.
Tina, I know you had some other suggestions.
I do, and I know that this is going to be a popular one for you guys, but we're not going to try to overall everything. So whatever day we do start, whether that's today or tomorrow or whatever day you pick to add something in, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to pick something to add in. You're not going to overall everything. You're not going to say, I'm giving this up, or I'm not having any of this until January 1st. Like, don't try to overall everything. Start with one thing and make it something that you can add to your life, right? Like a walk, drinking more water, eating a piece of fruit. Very simple. Just like the podcast from last week now. Keep it simple.
Yep.
What's something that you can add in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like to think of, so the holiday season, a lot of people think of it as 3 months, 2 months, whatever. And the reality is the holidays themselves is probably only like 10 to 14 days. If you actually looked at if you looked at your calendar and looked at how many days you were going to spend participating in a family event or being somewhere, it's probably 10 to 14 days. If you can keep the holidays to those 10 to 14 days and every other day is normal, you can enjoy the hell out of those 10 to 14 days and not even feel guilty for a second. And you don't have to, pass on grandma's best pie or whatever great dessert it is that you want. You don't have to feel guilty about it. It's if you bring that pie home and you eat it for the next 7 days, Monday through Friday, when you had nothing, that's when it becomes an issue. So look at the holiday season, look at your actual schedule. How many days are you really going to spend participating in family events? And I bet it's only like 10 to 14 days. And if that's all it is, enjoy it. But right back on Monday is the same Monday as January, February, March.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of a post you had, I think it was Super Bowl time last year, where you came on Monday morning and said, hey, I had a great time at a Super Bowl party. Here's everything I ate. And you laid it all out, ate and drank. And hey, but to your point, you had a great time, but it was one day. And then you're further on in your post, it said, here's what I'm doing today. I hit the gym. I got my workout in. I'm right back to the grind of doing all those things.
Yeah, and that's one of the tips that I have for you guys is don't overthink the event. That's not the time to micromanage, right? There's only so many events that you actually attend. Worry about the days around them, leading up to them, the days after them, getting right back on the horse, so to speak. But it's not the time to micromanage at the event. If there's something there that you want to enjoy, it brings value, and you like it, I say enjoy it.
And I think that's real important there is enjoying these moments, because this is real life. And if we don't enjoy it, then what are we doing?
Yeah. And that's why we're talking about this season, because guess what? It happens every year. So learning how to manage it and take some new strategies away from this might help next year, this year's season. And then hopefully it's stuff that you can carry into, long term, because we always have times of year where there seem to be a lot of events popping up.
Sure.
Yeah. So to go back to enjoying the day, let's go to the opposite of who you don't want to be and we've all maybe either been this person or this person has been at one of our events. I can't eat that. I'm on a diet. I have to stay away from that.
I don't know anyone who talks like that.
What a buzzkill of a person to like way to ruin everything for everybody. Honestly, like, does anybody enjoy that? Like, this is the worst conversation that could be had at a dinner table.
And I've gone to events before thinking like, you can't have this. You can't have this. Well, guess what I thought about the whole time I was there?
Having this.
Having this.
Yeah.
And guess what I did? I didn't have one or two. I wrecked the table. And then I might have wrecked the next day. And this is just real life, people. This is just really where my mindset was, that it did carry over, but not because of the event. It was because of how I was thinking about it. And once I got into my head that, wait a minute, you can change the way you're thinking about this. Like, is this brand new information? Well, for me, it was learning to change that mindset around enjoying the event and then getting out into going back to what I was doing that felt so good, because I did feel good. Knowing I didn't have to wreck the day or the day before, but I could have fun that day and I could enjoy every single part of it. So
To go back to that voice that you said.
oh, what voice?
Yeah. Does anybody really? Yes, that's the voice I hear when I hear
voice?
somebody start to talk about it. So yes, that voice exists.
Yes, it does. I
When
know.
somebody starts talking, that's cringy voice is what I hear. Whether that's how they talk or not, that's what I hear.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't change that.
That's how it. Yeah, that's how it comes across. That you're just like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
So nope. Voices in our heads.
Yeah. Stories.
Stories about food and holidays. So, and then that kind of leads me to another thing while we're at the event. And Jeff has his own saying, so I'll let him say his. But I have one: if it sucks after the first bite, it's gonna suck after the second and the third. It's not gonna taste better. But again, have you ever seen that food? It's gleaming at you, it's smiling at you. Come and have a piece. You get it, you take a bite, and it's underwhelming. You're like, this isn't the best thing I've ever had. Have you ever kept eating it? I have.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
I have. And so a rule of thumb that I like to follow: if it sucks after the first bite, politely scoop it aside and move on to the next thing. Maybe there's something there that you like, or maybe there isn't, but it sure as heck isn't going to taste any better if I keep eating it.
I can tell you, Jeff's not quite so polite.
Yeah, his is different, and I like his a lot. It's funny.
Well, if it sucks, don't eat it.
Yeah, the same thing.
Same
Whatever you remember in your head, if it sucks after the first bite, if it sucks, don't eat it. It's the same concept.
Yeah. Same thing. But
We had one last year. You either waste it in the trash can or you waste it right here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, there you go. I like that too.
yeah. But the real thing is like, don't eat it day after day after day. Even if it does suck and you do eat it that day, it's still not going to matter. It's if you eat that shitty thing 5 days in a row, week after week. Well, yeah, now it does start to make a difference.
Yeah, and the waste.
Yeah.
But I will, to your point there, I will say I think about those things now. I hear your voice in my head. If I take something and I truly don't like it, I'm not as afraid as I used to be to just pitch it, because I'm like, is this really worth it? Because if you're having that cookie, the point is to enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
speaking
I'm
of
not
cookies,
enjoying it,
better be soft. Don't give me your hard cookies.
but if you're not enjoying it, why do it?
Yeah.
You're just all that's going to do is create more stress for you afterwards. You're going to just have guilt, resentment. Oh, I'm feeling miserable. Why did I do that? If it was really good, you won't say that.
Right.
Yep.
I know why I did that. It was awesome.
It's a food boundary, right, Josh? Like setting up that food boundary. Like, well, I actually don't like this, so I'm not going to eat it, and I don't feel guilty about it. Just know that I don't like it. But you know what I do? I usually go find something I do like,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it.
So,
And then you move on.
And then I move on. You got it.
so the main thing for we're getting this out there. Hopefully, we're beating you to the fuckets. Hopefully, we're beating you to the punch. Now, open up your mind, being aware that hey, I do this. This is me.
Yeah.
And now you have enough time to get your mind right, change your mindset about the holiday seasons, how you look at it, and don't throw in the towel yet. You still have 25% of the year to go. You can still make progress if you wanted to, or you can just stay where you're at, but just don't go backwards.
Right.
And that's all I got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start thinking about it, becoming aware, and that in itself is a huge win. And so if that's where you get this season, this fuck it season, I'm cheering for you for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Cheryl, in case you're watching. I know you don't like when we cuss.
Oh, sorry.
You yelled at me.
We
Sorry.
should probably put a parental advisory on this one.
This one is going to need don't listen to this one in the
Yes.
car with the kids.
Yeah. So I apologize, Cheryl. This is one that